Yo, what's up? It's your boy Carcino in here. What's up to all the people that subscribe to me? I hope you guys are getting the notifications. If you're not, hit the send feedback button on YouTube. Send them my link to my channel and says, why am I not receiving my notifications for this channel? That's for everybody who didn't get this notification and you happen to end up here anyway. Make sure you're doing that so they could try to stop all this stuff that's going on. Because that's the excuse they're trying to say. Well, ain't nobody saying nothing. So instead of telling me, tell them so they can make sure you're getting your notifications. Now, here is a very interesting situation. Birdman, I swear, he's the ultimate hustler, Eddie. Birdman is trying to get NBA Youngboy so they can finally do this baller blocking 2. Now, baller blocking is a hood flick that was supposed to be called the Hot Boys, but Master P swindled him out of that, and we all know about that. So now in baller blocking, the hood film with NBA Youngboy going to be the lead now, as Lil Wayne was one of the main features in the first one with Juvie and BG and the Hot Boys. Now they're talking about him doing baller blocking too, and they're gonna show the image of downtown New Orleans, and they're gonna talk about this. But baller blocking wasn't a good movie. I had the VHS cassette tape. Just wasn't good. Then on top of it, not being a good film and all, it didn't really make that kind of money. The soundtrack did. I mean, the soundtrack did better than the film. Well, it finished. It was like 80K its first week, 13 when it debuted, but it really didn't break the bank. It had Nas on there. It had 8 Ball, MJG, Mac 10, E40, UGK was on there, and they didn't crack the world with baller blocking. Like baller blocking just didn't take off. And Baby was upset because he felt that, the reason why is because the movie should have been called The Hot Boys. And The Hot Boys was the name of the group. And so the movie was supposed to be The Hot Boys. And then Master P make a movie called The Hot Boys with, Silk the Shocker as the lead. And of course it was a better movie than baller blocking. He was really baller blocking. But here's the thing: nobody really used baller no more like that. That was like a '90s word. Yo, you a baller, shot caller. Nah, nobody really used that anymore. So it's obvious money grab. Whenever they come with that sequel, it's not about. It's not about character. It's about sequel. Do your character die in the script? No. Then it's a good script. It's about sequel. It's not about art. Now, oh man, I understand that young boy's trying to get his life back together and go through the things that he's going through, as he can't have certain things go wrong in his life. He's still on a string. Like he gotta toe the line, or you know, it's back to the hood he go. Well, not back to the hood, but back to jail. But he's a top streaming artist. And when you're a top streaming artist, it's going to be real hard for them to do anything to you. Feel me? Now, if you see things like what they've done as far as entertainment, because last year I think they had that From the Bayou mixtape. And my boy keep telling me, man, you slept on that From the Bayou, man. I'm telling you, boy, Youngboy, that went off. That went off, boy. Boy, that was that crack. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to sit that one out. But I'm quite sure I got cousins that got it. Thank you for putting me up on game. So I set that one out. But Baby and Youngboy, they got a nomination for Best Duo at the BET Hip Hop Awards for that for a song they did on there. So shouts out for that. But he's like his influence by Cash Money is what made him get into hip hop. So when he saw the Juvie album, that 400 Degrees, that's what really let him know that this was possible. And I understand that. When Youngboy said that, that made sense to me. I don't have to like everybody, and nobody else have to like who I like. You know what I'm saying? If I don't feel some, or some ain't for me, it ain't for me. That's just it. Do I feel Youngboy is a terrible artist? No, I'm just like a lot of his music, I'm just not even feeling. It's like I've heard it from some other people, or other people had it or said it. And most of the young people, they could differentiate between who's who. I like NLE Chopper music a little better to me. That's just me. But it's just that. I'm quite sure y'all could point out some songs I've never heard before, and that's cool. But what I do understand and relate to Youngboy about is the fact that he saw 400 Degrees and that inspired him. So when he did the 3800 Degrees and all that, and he did his title cover and everything else, and I was paying homage to Juvie's album. But when you want to say thank you for that, making 400 Degrees, because that peaked, like somebody from like where you grew up from, you know what I'm saying, is like they made it. It's like, man, they made it. And this thing is possible. I relate to that because seeing Kel grow up around the corner from me, and he's breakdancing in the streets with my cousin, and then actually, I blink, he's on TV, and he's got the hottest show on Nickelodeon, just like that. And I'm like, this dude was just breakdancing in the street. So it goes from that to that overnight. It could happen just that quick, but it's possible. So when you see the ramifications of things like that, like, man, this whole thing is achievable. It's all possible. And then people all around me started fulfilling their dreams, and that it was possible. Floyd Mayweather all of a sudden becomes world champion. He goes pro, he goes to the Olympics, and he wins. Like, everybody think Floyd was this household name at the time. He wasn't. In 96, he fought in the Olympics in Atlanta. Nobody was looking at him to be where he was. He did, but nobody else really was. They just thought he was this crazy kid that just keeps saying crazy stuff. Well, how crazy is he now? Feel me? I never wanted to be the one to say, man, it would be dope if we was to do this. I ain't want to have to be that guy. You know, who wants to be that person? You want to be the person that says, hey, look, this is where we at with everything, and this is how I feel about X, Y, and Z. You feel me? So young boy, baby, everybody in their crew, like ain't no love lost for them. You know, like ain't nobody got no disrespect towards them. They do their thing and they hold it down and don't nobody really get in their way. You feel me? So it is what it is. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and finish watching Kwame Brown's video because he's live right now. So let me go over there and check that out. And I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks for everybody who supports the page. Don't forget on the Patreon, we hit y'all right in the head on day one. Guess what's gonna happen today? Wait for it. But you don't want to miss it. So if you're on the Patreon, make sure you got the Patreon app. You following Carcino for life on the Patreon because it's gonna get real today. I'm out.